Good evening and welcome to the Reston Community Center Board of Governors meeting for October 2025. First order of business is approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Next order of business is approval of the minutes
So moved.
from September 8th, 2025.
Look at the dates still. Second.
It's been moved in second.
Yeah.
All those
By the way, if the just a tiny little bit of a discussion, but promise it'll be quick. On the minutes, I'm not sure we need to have the time in the header. You know what I mean? And we have that in all the different minutes, and do we by dropping time off there, just leave it as the date, and then we're fine. But thanks for including the
financial.
Date for the minutes, and I think it'd be.
Okay.
So by the way, I'm assuming that we're talking about the minutes from the September 8th.
September 8th, 2025.
Well, from the board meeting, not the
From
Finance.
from the board meeting.
for the board meeting.
Yes.
So I'm just
Yes. Didn't we approve that one? It was moved in second. All those in favor? Aye. Next order of business is approval of the September 8th, 2025 board action.
so moved. Second.
Been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Did we not approve the finance committee meeting?
Yeah, I mean, just a minor tweak, just to the way it's represented on here. The first bullet under approval of minutes,
Mm-hmm.
that should actually be at the 8/12 agenda item. So when we do the committee reports, I mean that's when we could
We can say that.
approve the written minutes, because that's a separate thing we usually do with the committee books.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. The next order of business is the chair's remarks. I was in New York last night.
Hold on.
Good for you. Yes. And I got to see Dimash in person, and I don't know how he felt about it, but I was really upset with New York and Madison Square Garden, because I think they did him a total disservice. The sound was horrific. They were playing his track along with him, and there's nothing he can do. He's trying to outsing the tape and be in front of it, and the sound was just crazy. But the people that were there didn't really care. But it really angered me, because I could tell that it was making him tense. Because he would bow for the longest time. He would just stay there, and then I guess and get up and say, okay, now I'm not going to deal with that. Oh, they're doing something else. And they sent him out on stage without a belt. So he was dancing, and he said, we're about to have an incident here. Could somebody get me a belt?
Okay.
And then at some point he got so frustrated that he threw the belt in the audience. And he immediately after the song he came and said, "Could I have that back? I need it." But his voice, the thing I was worried about is the fact that he never seems to rest. And I was worried about the voice. The voice was there. It was great. It was, we were over the moon, three little old ladies. And I got to be squired around in a wheelchair all night. So that was cool too.
Nice.
Yeah. Most of the staff at the garden. But I didn't get to buy any merch. As the first thing my granddaughter said, "Did you get merch, Nana?" No. Because once you get in your seat, you couldn't get out.
Did she say merch?
She says merch.
Oh my
She's
God.
she's 9 and going on 17.
This is swag. Or
And it did.
I don't get swag anymore.
Totally.
That's different. Swag something give you merch. You gotta go put.
Yes.
Yeah.
Swag is free.
Swag, yes, yes. Swag is free.
Swag is free.
That's when.
I'd rather have.
Yeah. But I wanted merch and I didn't get any. I got I didn't bring my sweater. I got 2 buttons from the New Mexico chapter. There was a big contingency, and I can tell the way I can tell that he was upset was there was a portion in the show when he made this big speech all in Kaiser. And he usually does that and then translate. He just said, F all of you people. I just said it to my people. They understand. We're moving on. But he was, it was very strange because he's a very gentle, kind person, but you could tell that was, what was happening last night was not good. The IATSE were, they didn't represent themselves well. I have here tonight somewhere. This is from the playlist. If you all were here for Lorena Dove's presentation. And my boat is signed. Okay. so now let's just think again. So what I did yesterday was not a vacation, but it was a once in a lifetime, something I thought I would never be able to do. I just wanted to be in the same space with him, and I was there. Vacation. I love the hour before takeoff. That stretch of time, no home, but the gray vinyl seats blinked like unfolding paper dolls. Soon we shall be summoned to the gate. Soon enough, there'll be the clumsy procedure of row numbers and perforated stubs. But for now, I can look at these ragtag nuclear families with their cooing and bickering, or the healed bachelorette trying to ignore baby's wail, and the baby's exhausted mother waiting to be called up early, while the athlete, one monstrous hand asleep on his duffel bag, listens perched like a seal trained for the plunge. Even the lone executive who has wandered this far into summer without his lasered itinerary, briefcase knocking his knees, even he has worked for the pleasure of bearing no more than a scrape of himself into this hall. He'll dine out, she'll sleep late, they'll let the sun burn them happy all morning. A little hope, a little whimsy before the loudspeaker blurts, and we leap up to become Flight 828, now boarding at Gate 17. And we had one of our party, there were 3 of us in our party, and one was from Japan. And we did this harrowing drive to get her to JFK this morning so she could go back home. So, this is the way the older generation lives. We go to New York in one day in a car and we come back. The next order of business is the introduction of visitors, and we don't have any. So we will not have any community input tonight. Next order of business is the committee reports. And it looks like the only one we have is the finance.
Yeah.
One that we want to approve.
So you have the written version in your minutes section of the binders. That's a big one to the oral version of this last time. Revenue is right on track. A couple minor little glitches, but they are very minor when it comes to the big picture numbers. And the operating stuff is in good order, as is personnel. Some of the big maintenance stuff, the capital projects are being, some of those accounts are being shipped around to make sure that things are being actually, and by the way, in the minutes, I'm trying to find the one.
In minutes.
I thought that there was something I wanted to clean up in the minutes, but it's fine. It's good enough. Any questions on the minutes from the finance committee?
No.
All right. I move that we approve the finance committee report.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports are approved. The next order of business is the board member input on activities attendance since last we met. We will start with our tennis star.
Oh, hell. I was actually able to be home these past 2 weeks, but went to the opening of the fall season here at RCC in the Lila Gordon Theater with author Viet Thanh Nguyen, and he was amazing. It was such a great way to open the season, and he was so articulate, so smart. Obviously saw Phoebe there, saw Bill there, and had a little reception afterwards. He signed books for everybody. I thought it was just a fantastic way to start the season. It was so exciting, and it was such a great crowd of people, like such a mix of people. Ray and I were talking to this older couple who were in from Great Falls, and they had picked up their tickets for the season. They were going to go see Lunasa and Judy Khan. They'd already gotten everything. And it was lovely to see that, you know, all these surrounding areas, not just Reston, people were coming for the events that we're hosting here. So that was so well done, and getting all that done. Now, really good.
Let's see. I went to just a brief moment of one of the Darden and Friends shows, which is happy hour about 5:30 and 6:30 on Fridays in the Town Square Park. So that was really good. By the way, Darden Purcell's husband Sean has a new album out, and it's very good. If you're into so he's jazz guitar, but it's a nice combo he has going on there. Also went to the Cornerstones Partner Appreciation event with Brianne and Shane and Vivi. I think it's just the four. Is that? And so that was really good. It's nice having the farewell event for Terry Wilson. It sort of goes on and on and on. And so that's been really good. And then this past weekend, the 0.5K benefiting the South Lakes High School PTSA food pantry. And so always a good event. We had really good weather for that. Unfortunately, I missed the opening of the professional touring artist season because I was too busy recovering from storming the field at UVA after they beat... Okay, all right. So I wasn't strictly speaking on the field.
I was going to ask you.
Actually, one of the my wife and I reflect on this. That one of the things that really brings us joy about our daughter being in the marching band is that when that field was stormed, we know one person who wasn't in there, and that is our daughter, right? Because she was in her uniform up in section 105, and so it's comforting to know that she's not on the hill. And she was not storming the field there. So, but I do have video if anyone wants to see what that looked like from.
There's well-behaved
the,
students down there.
What?
Well-behaved students down there. We would never storm a field.
Oh, and I also have been working at some tables helping out with the elections that are going on. Make sure everybody vote. We have the three obviously the big statewide offices plus our delegate in the House of Delegates, as well as a school bond representative. So that's right. So 5.
Lots of meetings. Lots and lots of meetings. But I went to the opening event and a lot of it, which was really, really fascinating to hear, especially all the different parallels with different groups and how those were expressed. And then the Multicultural Festival, where I was an MC for 3 hours, which was really, really, really nice. A Darden concert while sitting at Passion Fish having drinks and oysters. It was really, really cool. And I just returned last night. The last 4 days, I've been with my son playing pickup baseball at the Field of Dreams. And it was unbelievable. Me and 100 of my best friends. It was so cool. So
That's all.
yeah. But that's it. Nothing else.
You have to write a book.
One of these days.
You
So
do.
so one of the guys that was with me this weekend, there's fascinating stories about a bunch of guys. But one of the guys that I hung out with most of the weekend was a gentleman by the name of Steve Coffin. And if you don't know Steve Coffin always wanted to be a catcher. But what Steve Coffin is famous for is at 16 and a half years old, he won the Kentucky Derby. And not only did he win the Kentucky Derby, he won the Triple Crown
Wow.
at 17 years old.
Wow.
He is in 3 different Jockey Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
And is one of the most fascinating individuals I've ever met in my life. And we had a ball. And he got to be a catcher because he had seen the film, and you know, the dad being the catcher, he wanted to be a catcher, and that's what he was. So it was cool.
Thank you for sharing that, Bill, because I saw your post. I was like, what does that have to do with baseball? I was totally lost, but that was very cool. Thank you for sharing. I've been out of commission for 3 weeks, so I really didn't go to anything. I'm hoping to get back to a few things soon. So I'm in the recovery mode, in the
How-
healing mode. Yeah.
Are you in pain?
You know, the pain is subsiding. I'm no longer on pain meds, but if I don't rest, it comes back quickly. So I'm kind of partially bionic now. The plate and 8 screws on my left wrist. Yeah.
It'll come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I know it'll come back. But it's just like Bill said, I don't like to be patient and to chill. And for 4 months now, I have to like, no weight bearing and just
Yep.
be like, what?
Yeah.
4 months? Yeah, 4 months. So
When I tore my Achilles, I walked the Masters course for 4 days.
and it's full. So yeah. So there's a foot
See,
too.
let's go.
But I'm healing, and I will follow the rules. But I will try to be basic things that don't require a lot of walking and lifting.
Yeah.
I don't know, but most of you might not know who this is, but Connie Pettinger passed away this last week. Her service is going to be, I think, August 16th in Winchester. But
August
Connie,
or
August,
October, okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
But Connie was really instrumental in getting Rested Interfaith on the stable path. When she came in to be the executive director, Rested Interfaith was in serious debt and ready to close the books and close it off. And she was real instrumental in getting the support it needed in getting the Greco shelter going, the input center at World. She's made a significant contribution to this community and needs to be remembered.
Yeah.
She's great.
And aside from that, basketball.
Basketball.
Files have started. So now we're done with volleyball
We're done with volleyball.
series. On to the real sporters.
I love
No bias.
Uh-huh.
Multicultural Festival was a blast. The weather was incredible. Had a really good weekend. And soccer every Saturday morning. And then the farmer's market throws. That's our routine. Go get a muffin.
So the Multicultural Festival, I deigned to leave hospital to do that, and my daughter yelled at me all weekend. But I ended up with I probably told this story before. My blood pressure being 202.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I think I need to do something about this. So I Googled it, and it said go to the hospital.
ER immediately. Yeah, seriously.
And your blood pressure went up.
It was already as high as it could get. It was crazy, and so they kept me overnight. So now I have because of the high blood pressure, some enzyme released that affects the heart. So they need to now look at that. So whoopee, I did that to myself. My Meet the Artists, I managed to make through that. That was fun. I always find out that we get together, Howard and I, we rehearse once before we do these. And during the performance, I learned the words to all the songs. That's my process. And I was at the opening of the opening of the season for this, and I also attended the opening of Next Stop. They have a production called Dream House, and Minda has seasons tickets, and Minda has seasons tickets which are great for Minda. And if you know anything about a theater person, the place you do not want to sit is the front left.
Yeah, sure.
And we sit right there. And in this place, most of the actors sit with us at some point. It's just incredible. But Minda loves it. It was a very nice production, very well done. Strange play, but nice production. Next order of business is the executive director of Ritual.
All right, I'll go fast. In September, the facilities front, we had all the curtains flame proofed. The phone upgrades is all in place now. Our office has been refurbished. We're moving on to Lake Ann right now, and Lake Ann's a little delayed. So, but that's the last phase of our the office space redesign project. The bathroom renovations, the front is already done. The back, the hallway is being worked on right now, and should be done within the next week or two. So we're happy about that. We had a bad power outage on Sunday. It was very widespread. It's practically all of South Reston for extended amount of time. So we had to close at I think about 11:15, and we reopened at 4. Because that's
Not yesterday.
No, last Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Not yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah. Right. So that just means that the management team is going to relook at the way that we're going to have to create some sort of phone tree to make sure that we can manage those kind of emergencies more effectively, because we have to relocate programs, look at what we need to call and cancel or reschedule and all that kind of stuff. So that was, and I'm glad it was on that Sunday and not the Saturday when we had the season opening event. So yeah. Let's see. In equity, Western Multicultural Festival was a huge success. We're still getting a lot of accolades from our partners and a lot of the vendors, and were really complimentary about how organized and how just everything came together. I think last year was Asia and Naggie's sort of first with the bigger footprint, and this year they really honed up and got it together and reconfigured in a way that really worked well. And I loved, as I was walking through, every single vendor had a activity, very engaging, well thought out activity that brought everybody into. So I really like that aspect of what they incorporated.
Hey, can I ask a question? Sure. What was attendance like?
12,000. So about 20% more than last year.
That's a lot. That's great.
Yeah. So that's we use BXP's drones, and they have a system where they can. It's actually a little under than because they don't count it. They use the cell phone numbers to count the people that are attending, and that doesn't account for like children and so it's probably slightly higher than that. The Viet Thanh Nguyen performance and opening reception was just phenomenal. I really enjoyed that. I thought the opening ceremony really kind of bring in, I knew there was going to be a lot of people first time in our center and in our center stage, and as Malta pointed out, they were just like, wow, this is, it's here. And so I wanted to make sure that we impress so that they can get those season tickets and look at the entire season. So it was really nice. And thank you to the ONC staff and the ANC staff for a really heavy lifting month, because right before the multicultural, we had 3 days of Boys on Broadway, the Broadway in the park, and we had to cancel on Saturday because of rain. But combined, it was also another record-breaking attendance for Broadway in the park. Community connections, went into that already. The Broadway on the square to 1,400 attendees, and that's just 2 nights instead of 3. So the 12,000 for Multicultural Festival. Summer concerts concluded. The Darden Purcell series is going to end. I think it goes into next Friday night, and that will wrap up that series. RCC on Wheels, we received the staff orientation and training. It was Ben, you attended it on my behalf on that. Was that like a 3-4 hour training?
Yeah, they went through all the kind of nooks and crannies, everything from the workstation to how the Wi-Fi works. It's a really impressive vehicle.
So we had all that retrofitted, so that's now it's the time where they kind of walk us through how to actually operate it. So now the vehicle is with DBS, and they're going to have to complete all the registration and administration process for that, and then we'll take it back to RCC and return the rental, and then start operating the new vehicle. I have a design brief with media this week on the new wrap design for the vehicle. Programs and services, everything is looking really great. We launched it, if you recall, back in February and March when we did a community engagement, and we had the suggestion of having part of the fitness programs to grow it into early morning, and we wanted it to, where we configured the budget to add more to open, like Anna, a little earlier, with the staffing of customer service and maintenance and instructors, and we just launched it 2 weeks ago, and it's going really great. So all of the fall programs, it's just a really busy event season. Everything is fully subscribed with all the Halloween. If you walk in, you see there's a poster on an easel stand that has everything Halloween, and it's just, I mean, you cannot miss Halloween. And thanks to Brianne, she also launched October as Staff Spirit Week, and Spirit Month.
The whole month.
But every week we have an activity, and each department. It's not a competition, but it's just to get.
I'm taking it is.
I don't know, you named the award today. I was trying to read it, and it was like most creative, competitive creation, and I was like, wait, go back.
This one applied with Lila, because Lila does not like anything competitive. When she visited this morning, I try not to say that. It's just a cultural shift, and we're trying to make it more fun. But it's getting some traction. The staff is really excited. Like Anna's getting into the fun as well, and media. Lorna posted on big LinkedIn, and our county exec commented about our
Jersey. I saw the picture of the Jersey one. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Brianne, for spearheading that.
Thank you guys.
On the communications front, the media team is doing a promotional sizzle reel for the 2025-26 Professional Touring Artist Series. And Becca is also helping me do a sizzle reel for the Arts Awards, since we're one of the major sponsors for that coming up. So I hope everybody has already RSVP'd them of your attendance, because we have to turn that into Arts Fair Pass. On the Steward accreditation, thank you everybody. I've been getting kudos back from some of you on our reaccreditation. Our team was acknowledged and recognized at the NRPA conference. That was a really cool thing to do, and I got to network a lot with a lot of our kind of local jurisdictions, voting rights professionals, and learned a lot. We came back and had a debrief, and we also AI was such a big topic at this year's conference, and so we formed an AI committee in RCC to kind of look at the different tools that we can bring to bear in our agency to kind of streamline our business processes and see if there's ways that we can innovate. Preference poll also ended, and everybody, congratulations to returning
Board members.
yes, Bev and Shane and Paul. So welcome back.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Right? We have to
Good
wait
point.
for Supervisor Alpoint
Yeah.
to appoint
To
it
approve
in
it,
our-
yeah, to say
Yeah.
it's good.
The
The
October-
Board of Supervisors has to appoint. So
Right.
Point still like that.
That's it. Well, let's see.
And we've been using this new platform called Public Input, which I got from the Park Authority. And we're doing a lot of surveys to see how we can revamp the volunteer recognition program to make sure that it kind of, engages our volunteers in a more meaningful way. We lost a couple of, actually 4 facilities part-time staff. So we have, if you have anybody who's, who wants a part-time job, we're looking for staff to help with the facilities fund. So we sort of lost really quickly some of the non-merit staff. And then on the activity front, I was really busy in September. NRPA conference. Thank you, Bill, for representing RCC at the Tougher ICA, the Alloy Project reception. That night, Bev, I just flew back from Florida and was not feeling too great, and then I got news that you weren't doing well, so Bill had to represent us at that event. The Vietnam Wind season opener I talked about. Reston Multicultural Festival, Cornerstone's corporate reception, the Reston Chamber Cup, that was really fun at the Westfields Golf Club, and I attended the Capital One celebration of the arts. That's Tefra's first collaboration with Capital One, and I thought it was really well done. It was kind of sparse but I went really early on Sunday. But they had perfect weather, and I kind of took a lot of ideas and steal a couple different things that they were doing. Maybe we'll incorporate it into our festivals here. Also, I attended the runway for the Cure at Town Center yesterday. And then Paul and I did a role in the celebrity starter at the Pantry Studio Waypoint 5K. That's always such a Reston fun thing to do. I really enjoyed that. And we get to pick the best dressed and the most spirited. And they all get Ben and Jerry's gift cards and a medal. So it's super cute. Yep. So that's all I did in September.
Thank you. Is there any continuing business? Hearing none. Is there any new business?
I do have a couple of new business. Go ahead.
Well, you can go. Okay.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right. So, one announcement, one quick request, and one probably longer request that might turn into something more substantial. Announcement. This is homecoming week for Salt Lakes High School, so that means that we'll have the parade on Friday, which starts off in the parking lot here at Hennis Woods Village Center, We'll go up Colts Neck and then South Lakes Drive to the school. I forgot what type step off is. I've only done it for the past like 15 years. I want to say they step off at like about 4.
It's 4:15. I
4:15.
say 4, but it's always 4:15.
So 4:15, and so but that means that the parking lot's going to be a zoo starting at like 3:30, 3. So just FYI, and then homecoming game that night, and then if you're going out for dinner on Saturday, just be cognizant that that'll be the homecoming dance, and so you'll be, if you don't have reservations somewhere, just be cognizant that you might have competition for seats at McDonald's. I mean at wherever it is.
The new McDonald's.
It's new, so that seems like it's in play. Second of all, a request now with the camera on, 'cause I know I've requested this without it. I think at the board, I would appreciate having some speaking of swag, some RCC branded clothing. I think would be really helpful just for stuff like the 0.5K. Would be good to be able to rep RCC and stuff like that. It's like there's sometimes like with just like a quarter zip or something like so nothing.
Oh, the lights just
A quarter zip or polo or a nicer shirt than a t-shirt. Yes, I definitely.
Yeah, not a t-shirt,
Not a
like
t-shirt,
something
but a
that
polo
like that
or
we
a
could
quarter
that,
zip
anyway. So
down.
you know, to me, quarter zip seems to be something that's light that we can wear. The Park Authority always has a ton of really good swag. You might have stuff to suggest, but I'm just putting out that request that we get some swag. And by the way, it doesn't even need to be like board swag, just RCC swag. A hat, a quarter zip.
No, it should be board.
Should be board. I know.
Should
Got
be
that.
board.
I've got that for RA. I actually still have an RA board colored T-shirt,
Well, we're
but I won't.
but it should be RCC.
Should be
RCC board swag, and what you need to look into is there are IRS regulations
Yeah.
on what you can do, and depending on what it says, you can pay the difference for it. But board members are they get so much that they can get in the
Yeah.
given year, and I don't know if our tickets and all of that figures into that.
or if those, yeah, I think, but there might be multiple types of things. So I
Because
don't
then
know.
it's got to be reported
Right.
Yeah.
on a 1099.
Yeah.
I would be happy to get merch instead of swag.
Right. That's it. I'll merge. I pay for it. I pay for it.
We'll talk-
I'm going to
We'll look into it and then we can get sizes and things like that.
Your swag will be the cup. Your shirt will be the merch.
and then the third thing, since you mentioned you guys exploring uses of AI, what I think would be really good to get is really it might be one document with 2 sections, but I'd like to have a sense of what RCC's AI use strategy is. Which AI tools are you using for what types of things? For what types of things are you not using it? Like that sort of thing, as well as AI use guidelines. So for anyone who is using it, again, which tools, credit, history, like there's a lot of stuff that could go into it, but I'm curious about uses and guidelines as well.
I think the county is working on that from the county standpoint.
Right, and so even if it's sort of taking the county thing and figuring out if we need an addendum to that, that's the RCC addendum based on that, just to sort of get a package of that so that the board can see that, because I know it's going to come up. I know people are going to be asking me about it. It'd be good to be properly informed on that.
Let's figure out what it is first.
Yeah. I know the only county sanctioned one is Copilot on the Microsoft right now. But this committee is going to kind of take a look to see what the county's doing and what we can use here with RCC. So it's just an exploratory committee to find out what's out there, how we can use it, because we don't want to be caught behind the curve. All right. I have a couple of new business. We need to form a committee as a nominating committee for the officers for the 2025 and 26 Board of Governors. And I have checked, and Shane and Paul have gracefully accepted. So, Bev, if you can make a motion to
Just to be clear, Paul Berry.
Paul Barry. Yes. Paul B.
Well, no, you said
No,
Paul,
I know you
and I
were
was
like,
Paul B.
Now we have two votes. Okay, that's the motion on the floor already.
there's no
That
on
they-
the floor.
Well,
No, you just appoint.
It's
You just
appointed.
appoint.
You
Yeah.
don't have to.
well,
Yeah, you don't need to.
You don't need a motion. You don't
okay,
need a vote.
you're appointed.
Thank you.
There you go.
It is John
And Shane.
Yes.
and Shay.
Yes. In absentia.
Okay.
And then another item that I want to bring up is that for the January strategic planning session, it's really early this next year in 2026. It's going to be January 3rd. Yeah. So literally we have New Year on Thursday, Friday, and then so I checked with my predecessor, and there's been times where but I want to put that out for the board to consider if you want to defer it to January 10th if you're traveling or for whatever reason. There's
Yes.
I do. Yes.
January
Yes.
10th
Yes.
is
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Yes.
Yes.
January 10th.
Yes.
No more discussion.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good. No, I
No. That's just.
I agree. The 10th would be far preferable.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, because I'm thinking that it's still like kind of holiday.
Yeah, people should
Uh-huh.
travel and enjoy our family and all that stuff.
And then in terms of venues, everybody okay with still? We're early enough where we can consider other options and venues, or I mean, RA has been very gracious to to host us the last.
I walk across.
I like it.
lot.
Yeah.
I like it. All right.
Easy, you just
Yeah.
get
I
it.
like it. All
And
right.
it's easy for the public to access.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Since we're not
I
going
know
here,
exactly.
They-
Exactly. They don't.
Our
They don't
voice.
understand.
they don't know.
They don't know.
know
They
their
really
place.
don't
So,
understand. They
you guys are still attached to Airline.
They saw.
Well, but no, well, Airly's isn't it for one of the schools bought it or something? Yeah,
It was beautiful. I
yeah.
had to do that.
And then this is like still way down the line, but Paul is on the Human Services Council, and there's some dates that we might have to shift come closer in June and July.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, so that he can attend both meetings. So
It's just two events. It's the public hearing in June and it's the finance committee in year-end thing in July.
Okay.
And then I just want to call your attention that if you haven't selected Washington West Film Fest selections, you still have time to do that. And if you use the RCC code, they're still complimentary. You get 6 comp tickets per show. So take advantage of that if you haven't already. That is all.
I just wanted with the nominating board, could we have an odd number at Vicky?
And that Vicky.
what's that?
Adding you to the nominating committee.
I will serve on the committee, not as the chair.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, the other two are the co-chairs.
yeah.
No, okay. That's fine.
We're just gonna let AI do it. Ain't
So it's his co-pilot.
Okay. Are there any, you see all the events down at the bottom? As she said, hopefully everybody has RSVP'd. And are there any other reminders? Are there any other words that you need to say tonight? Because they do go on the record. Hearing none, the meeting of October 6th, see, I'm living in the future. October 6th, 2025 is now adjourned.